Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo.
Welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me, as always, is Todd Stark.
It's half Christmas.
It is. We're halfway over.
No, it's just half Christmas.
Okay.
It's E3 week.
Well, it is E3 week, and you know something else that we didn't really mention last week, which I'm a little disappointed we didn't. We've been doing this for 1 year now.
1 year.
1 year. Because we started last year around before E3 talking about it. Mm-hmm. And trying to give our 2 cents. If you actually go back and listen to it, if you've never listened to that, I would recommend not because
it is a terrible trash fire.
But we were new. We were new to podcasting. We didn't know what we were doing, and we've evolved over the year.
Yeah, trying to get our swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Like our whatever you call that thing.
Yeah, that thing. That
thing.
Our balance.
Balance, I guess that's a good word.
If you look at even I'd say episode 3, because that kind of broke away from the E3 stuff.
Yeah.
If you look at that one versus what we're doing now, the way we have it structured and everything, I think it's so much better.
Yeah.
But
it's so much better.
We had to find our footing. So
our footing, our balance, our footing, our swerve. Get our
whatever
swerve on.
Yeah.
I know, like doing it is getting your swerve on.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like using it for this too, though.
Okay.
I got to tell you something, though.
1 year.
1 year, and to celebrate 1 year, I want to tell you something funny that I seen on the way here.
Okay.
All right, so you know the Dukes of Hazzard, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you got the General Lee.
Yeah.
It's got the 1 on the side of the car, and then the
I
flag.
I know where you're going with
the flag on. Have you seen this?
The Dookie Boys?
Yes. Is that not awesome?
Yeah, I've seen.
I'm pretty sure they suck poop out of septic tanks and outhouses, right? But like it's orange, like the General Lee. It says the Dookie Boys.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you haven't seen that by now.
No, I don't go. I didn't see it last week, but I don't. Was it there last week?
It's always there. Every
I
time
did
I
not
go
pay
home.
attention to that.
Yeah.
But today, I'm so glad I did.
The
My eyes
Dookie
were
Boys.
open today. It was great. It was just. I thought I had to tell you, but I'm kind of disappointed that you already seen it.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry, but yeah, I've seen it quite a bit.
The Dookie Boys.
The Dookie Boys.
I'm gonna call them to my house. Like I don't have any Dookie here, but I wanted to see if they come in and they go yee-haw.
Yeah.
Every time they suck something out, they yell that.
I know that they're a little on the crooked side as far as what they'll charge you.
Are they crooked?
Yeah, they're expensive. I wouldn't use them.
Oh well, they got to suck poop out.
Yeah, but you could get it cheaper.
I'm just gonna get a vacuum.
Yeah.
I'm get a $19 vacuum. It'll probably work once, but
probably. What have you been playing?
Let's see. This week, life has been all up in my ass, and I really haven't played a lot, but I did, however, start back up on Detroit Become Human.
Okay.
I think I mentioned that last week.
Is it going all right?
Yeah, it's a great game. I love it. I mean, I loved Heavy Rain. I loved Beyond Two. They haven't done a game that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
There's something with every one of them that I could go, well, that's kind of screwed up. They could fix that, but for the most part, I have enjoyed every experience that I had, because these games are experiences as well as a game,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, as far as this is probably their best game, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you? What you been playing? Because I know.
Finally playing God of War.
Welcome to the party.
I felt like I haven't really got to play too much until maybe like last night and this morning. So I've really been taking a lot more time to really sit down and play it, because I don't like playing it in spurts.
No, that game you cannot.
Out, on stuff, and I really can't find myself getting into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want to actually be able to sit down, play it, and get into it. So last night was a time that I really got to do that. So,
yeah, and you found a glitch that I don't think anybody else found.
Well, see, yeah, and I'm wondering if there was some, because when I started the game back up, it almost kind of seemed glitchy.
Right.
But I don't want to say glitchy in a bad way. Almost like it was struggling to get back up.
Right.
So I don't know what was wrong. I don't know if it was just.
I don't know.
It was odd because I was like, all right, well maybe I just need to reset it or something like that. But I couldn't get my axe back. I don't know.
It's
I
crazy.
kept hitting buttons and I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? So I just reset it, came back.
I wonder if it has something to do with those classic controls. Because I don't remember the classic controls being an option when I first started. Mm-hmm. Did you try it with the old control? The new controls?
I looked over the controls and I was like, what would... Because I saw how it was laid out, and I just said, well, I kind of like my buttons here and there.
Dude, it felt good, though, when you start playing it. Mm-hmm. It felt really good. Like the way they had it set up.
Yeah.
You remember when we were talking about Gathering the Dead?
Yeah.
It's a lot like the control scheme that I thought of for that game. Okay. With the certain attack with R1 and the heavier weapon with R2. When your heavier attack is R2, R1's your lighter attack. And then, how do you dodge on it? Because X is the same way. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you hold R1 and you X, double tap to roll. Yeah. Okay, that's the same thing on the other one. Okay. I'm just wondering because I don't remember that being an option. I wonder if that's a bug, because I don't remember many people talk about playing with the classic controls that first started playing.
Well, I didn't see anybody talk about a bug because I even looked it up before I assumed that's what it was.
Right.
I was like, maybe it was part of the story because I ended as soon as a story point had ended. Yeah. I thought maybe it was part of it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll keep moving. But then I noticed I was like, well, I'm going to need this back at some point.
Right.
So it just started bugging me.
Yeah, because I remember, have you dealt with the world serpent yet?
Yes.
Okay, you remember where you throw it in his mouth? Mm-hmm. I was sitting there trying to think. I was like, well, I know you lose your axe right then. But he spits it back out immediately to you. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't think. And I was like, I think you found a glitch that nobody's mentioned.
Well, we'll see. Maybe other people will come about it. So maybe I'm the first for once.
You can do a blog. Just reset your game.
Yeah. Let's get into some news.
Let's do
it. I got a little bit of news.
There's a little bit this week.
Yeah, a lot of announcements.
Yeah.
So we'll get into those a little bit later. But first, I wanted to touch on some video game related news. There was an appropriations subcommittee meeting that took place in the U.S. Senate last week, and it seems as though video games are still in the crosshairs. One in particular official is the head of the Federal Commission of School Safety, Betsy DeVos.
No, screw her.
Yeah. During this meeting, she was asked by one of the senators on the subcommittee if her department was investigating the role firearms play in relation to school violence. Her response was that it was not in their purview. And this was met with a retort of confusion, like, so you're investigating gun violence, but you're not looking into guns?
No.
And they're like, no, what we're worried about is ensuring school safety. So she even confirmed that there was even no interest in comparing video game and social media usage in other countries that have less gun violence than our own. So you see equal footing in other countries, and yet there's no history of gun violence or school shootings in these other countries, yet they consume the same amount.
Right.
But they don't want to look at it.
Well, they started off at the very beginning with hardly no guns, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know, I like my guns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that there is, when they say they're not looking at guns, we're not talking about banning anything. We're not talking about background checks, nothing like that.
But they won't be looking at video games either.
Yeah, they shouldn't be looking at that either. No, that's not the problem. Okay, so I think at one point that I heard, this is the one here in Nashville, Diane Black or whatever her name is. She's like, I think the problem with school shootings is people having babies out of wedlock. That's what her running point. Did you see that?
Nonsense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What the hell?
I know, that's crazy. It's like, whatever, lady. But
yeah,
okay, I don't think banning a gun is going to help because they're going to go, let's ban this gun. Okay, they're not going to make it anymore, but there's already 15 million out there. You know what I mean? Okay, so then you got to look at, background checks on everything possible. I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're not doing anything, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing something you ain't supposed to, you're not going to be able to get the gun. And that's okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
So you do need to look at guns in that part. So that's stupid for not to look at guns that way.
Mm-hmm.
then you need to look at school safety. That's the only thing you're going to look at. And they're probably going to say, we need to give a gun to a teacher, which is not a good idea either.
I think there was even an instance here recently that proved that would be a bad idea.
No, can you imagine the cops coming in? Now you got 2 people with a gun on the inside already that you can't communicate with because they don't have radios.
Mm-hmm. Or what if you hand it to the wrong teacher and a student tries to be belligerent?
Yeah.
And this guy's just having a bad day?
And what if that teacher is not equipped mentally to do this? They come around the corner and they shoot 6 students themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There. That's not going to work.
No, it's not good. So maybe one day video games will stop being a scapegoat. That's at least the hope.
Yeah.
One day. Next thing I've got is someone got pretty bold last week and tried to steal $1 million worth of Xbox Ones.
So they got...
The thief actually hijacked a semi that was filled with the consoles at a truck stop in Louisville, Kentucky.
It's always in Louisville.
Always. And then made his way to Clarksville, Indiana.
I was just going to say Tennessee.
This is about the time that he got apprehended. What was interesting is the thief was actually from Florida, that at least according to his driver's license. He pulled a cut and run when the police began their pursuit. So he ditched the truck and said, "No, I'm done." And it's really unclear if he even knew what he had in the truck, because the truck was not really labeled.
Right.
Hey, this is a truck full of Xbox Ones. He just took a semi. It just happened to have that stuff in it.
Right.
So I'm sure that outside of hijacking a truck and having that charge, I'm sure grand larceny is going to be on top of it as well.
Well, they ought to smack the hell out of him for getting an Xbox One.
Yeah.
It was not even a 1X.
No, I don't. Well, they didn't specify. I would assume an assortment. It could be 1Xs, 1Ss, the whole kit and caboodle of Xboxes.
Oh, just so you know, they're fixing to have their next announcements for the PlayStation stuff leading up to E3.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep you tuned in.
Okay, well, hopefully that'll show up in the quick hits and we can toss it in there.
I'll throw it in the quick hits to you as a catch.
Awesome. That sounds good. Next story I've got is Twitch announced their plans to celebrate Pride Month last week. Twitch stated that they will be highlighting LGBTQ creators all month long on the front page, as well as releasing new Pride shirts, participating in the San Francisco Pride Parade, and joining the Human Rights Campaign to raise money for equality. All profits for the Pride shirts will go to support the HRC and will sell for $7.
Can I say that I went to a gay pride parade one time?
Go ahead.
I didn't know it was a gay pride parade.
You just happened to walk in?
I was actually in Seattle, and I was going to see Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee's gravestones, their grave. And there was a gay pride parade on the street over, right? Apparently they just throw Frisbee a lot.
That's
There,
all it is? Frisbee?
they were throwing Frisbee like a mug, man. Like all over the place, like just Frisbees everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just walked over and started playing Frisbee?
No, I didn't go.
Oh.
I just kind of watched, but I thought to myself, looks like a good time.
Interesting. I've never been.
Yeah.
But
I didn't plan on going.
If it sounds fun, I mean, I've heard my daughter and my wife went to one in Nashville, and there was a lot of positivity, but also, you've got the people down there with their hateful signs, and whatnot.
How is that any better than the other? If you think that's wrong, how is coming down there and holding a hateful sign any better than what you think is wrong?
People don't seem to understand what love and kindness means. I'm pretty sure that's what Jesus preached.
He definitely did that.
Tolerance, and yet they don't seem to get that message, which is beyond me, because they preach it so much.
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. It's big hypocrisy.
That's
a whole other discussion.
I have trouble with churches sometimes because of that. Mm-hmm. Because they preach, I don't know, they don't practice what they preach. Like they'll preach all this love and kindness and stuff, and then you go with them outside the church and they'll see a gay couple or something, and just the first thing out of their mouth is something hateful. Mm-hmm. And I can't take that. I can't take it. So I just start thinking, that just makes me think totally different about what I've been doing, Yeah.
It's the hypocrisy. I don't understand it.
No.
Now, additionally, there will be new emotes and cheer motes will be added to Twitch based on the various shirt designs, and it will be a permanent addition to Twitch. Now, I kind of threw this in beforehand, but for some reason here in the last couple of days, I've heard a lot of people having issues with Twitch, and I don't really know where it's coming from. Again, I'm not on the platform.
Like issues like...
I don't know. Like they're not doing something right. Kind of almost like the issues people have been having with YouTube and a lot of their policy changes and stuff like that. I want somebody from Twitch to come on here and explain this. You know, I'd say the next guest we get, if we can get somebody from Twitch on here, I want them to explain what's going on because I'm just confused. You know, I've seen these long letters about, you know, this is what they need to do and this is what they're doing wrong. And I'm like, what's happened? I missed a story somewhere.
It could be that whole net neutrality thing.
Could be.
That could be the changes that's coming.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know. It threw me off. It was just strange, all the stuff I was seeing. I was like, what did I miss? Because I saw nothing.
Right.
The next story I've got is there was a list of pre-order bonuses released for Red Dead Redemption 2. Almost got my tongue tied.
Dead Red Redemption.
Dead Red. 2 basic bonuses for any pre-order are the War Horse, which is a gray-colored horse with increased courage and stamina, and the Outlaw Survival Kit, which gives you extra supplies to help you on your way. The digital version of the game will also get you some extra cash to start with, and a treasure map to help you find numerous hidden treasures across the Old West. Finally, each version of the pre-order will reward you with cash to use on GTA Online, which seems like a very odd addition to give. Because what if you don't play it? You know?
Yeah. That came with, what's the deluxe edition?
Well, you get, with the standard version, you'll get 500,000 to start with on GTA Online. If you get the special edition, you get 1 million. If you get the ultimate edition, you get 2 million. So, and again, that's if you don't play it, why do I need it? So,
I think you'd like it. I think this time it's not really like multiplayer as much as it is. Like, I think you can go through story missions now. I hope. Yeah.
Oh.
I hope it's like a co-op.
Perhaps.
But like one of them offers you like a camp.
Mm-hmm.
One of them offers like a robbery mission.
Okay.
I can't think of the other stuff I've seen. But did they list the prices on all that stuff? Because I have yet to see that.
I think it went, I didn't write them all down, but I think it was varied from like $59.99, $79.99, and $99.99.
Okay.
That would add up to each one. Red Dead Redemption 2, if you don't know, releases on October 26th. So,
Yay.
Yay. I'm actually looking forward to that. All right, it's time for some Quickets.
Quickets!
Before we get going, has Sony done their big announcement yet?
No, haven't seen it yet. I'd give them a few more minutes.
All right, well, I'll go through some of the Quickets maybe, because I've got a lot of them, and there were a lot of announcements this week, so I just figured it was worth, I'll just throw them in here.
Yeah, and you know, it is Spotlight Week on Spotlight Week. I can't talk now. Spotlight Week for Sony.
Right.
You know, their pre-E3 thing.
Okay, well, first of all, Sony announced Tetris Effect for PS4 and PSVR. They also announced Persona 3 Dancing in the Moonlight and Persona 5 Dancing in the Starlight for PS4 and PS Vita. I kind of want to play a Persona game, I guess, just out of sheer curiosity, but I guess I'm not really willing to pay the money because I don't know if it'll be for me. But I see a lot of people talk about it like it's fun, but I just don't know if it's for me.
I think it'll be for you.
You know what I mean? I just don't know.
You liked, I don't know, you liked Ni no Kuni and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I believe you would like it, from what I understand.
Telltale's The Walking Dead, the final season, got a new trailer this week, and it premieres on August 14th of this year. What, did you watch that trailer?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I did not like how they ended it.
What'd they do?
Well, she was talking. It was Clementine and Alvin were sitting on a bridge talking about, you know, I guess the way things are. And Alvin was just like, well, I don't like, you know, don't scream because that brings the monsters and I don't like the monsters. And then she sits down next to him and says, all right, well, what are we supposed to do? And they start going over rules on what you're supposed to do in the event of something bad going wrong. And the very last line in the trailer was Clementine looking at Alvin and says, "What do you do if I get bit?" And that's where they ended it. I'm like, don't you tell me she's going to get bit. Now, granted, that's a clever way to play the trailer to kind of suck you in, but I didn't like that foreshadowing. I was
no,
like,
I don't want to see that
bit.
happen to Clementine.
No, can't. She's been through so much. I don't want to see that become her fate.
I got a chance to see Melissa Hutchison again at the Walker Stalker Con. She was there. Yeah.
Nice. Just Cause 4 was confirmed due to a Steam leak.
Good job,
Steam. To be a lot of those. There was a new Days Gone trailer that announced the release date, February 22nd, 2019.
Yay, 5 days before my birthday.
Which is actually a good thing, too, because that means I can actually probably get my hands on that day one. So
you should possibly do that.
I will probably do that.
Everything I've seen about like people that's actually played it, they love it.
Mm-hmm. It looks great. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that this extensive delay, because it does seem like it should have. It seemed like it would have come out later this year, but I'm hoping that the fact that it's taking just a little while longer, I'm fine with that because I want it to be good.
Well, I think they looked at what they got and they're like, hey, let's just, there's no sense in like rushing anything out because, while I don't think that the PlayStation 5 is going to be out within next year, but the next year is a possibility. Yeah. I say within 2 years you'll start seeing it because, the PlayStation Pro will be 4 years old by then. That's where my money is. So you have games for all of next year, pretty much, starting out with Days Gone, and they always release something in that window. Why not put Days Gone there?
Didn't they do Horizon 2 years ago?
Horizon was in there. Let's see, God of War was what, April 20th, March.
Yeah, March.
April 20th was that. So that's their window. That first quarter window, they always have something big in that window.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, you think about what they've got for the rest of the year, it's fine.
Yeah.
We also have Crackdown 3 got a delay, according to Microsoft, until 2019. I didn't know that was. When that going to be on their big?
That was supposed to be their launch title with the Xbox One X.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not coming anytime soon.
I don't think it'll get launched then. I'm going to be honest. I think that's just something to shut everybody up for E3. Don't talk about it. Pay attention to this.
Do you think that they're maybe delaying it based off of the issues they've had with their what is that program called? For some reason, it's slipping my mind now. Their games that they
their Game Pass.
The Game Pass. Do you think? Because this was supposed to come out on the Game Pass as well.
Yeah,
do you think that they delayed this to try to maybe beef it up because it could be just as bad as the others? Because
I think they've had trouble with the cloud thing. Mm-hmm. There's if it's not online, you're not going to have any of that cloud compute power.
Yeah, and
I think they just tried to figure out how to make it equally as impressive offline.
Perhaps
so.
The Life is Strange and Vampire developer Don't Nod announced a new game called Twin Mirrors. It looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was a VR title.
Mm-hmm. Dead or Alive 6 got announced. Yay, I guess. I don't recall ever playing those.
Those are fighting games, yeah. Right. And sometimes they're like, dude, am I wrong? Are they not like, they have like beach volleyball and
there's just has been in the
just
past.
An amalgamation of all kinds of games.
Yeah. Didn't look like beach volleyball this time, but
no.
There was also an announcement for Generation Zero by the developers of Rage 2 and Just Cause. Netflix's Castlevania series has been given the green light for a third season.
Good.
Even though that the season 2 premiere has not even came out yet. Which
it must be outstanding.
I'm hoping. It was a solid 4 episodes, and I was like, this is over way too soon. I want more. Sega and Atlas announced their game lineup for E3 will include Shining Resonance Refrain, Team Sonic Racing, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Yakuza Kiwami 2, and Catherine Full Body. I'm looking forward to Catherine Full Body. I want to see more of that. Because, I don't know, do you remember me talking about Catherine? It was on PS3. It was like a puzzle game.
It was like a dating sim also?
Yeah, dating game puzzle simulator.
Yes, I remember that. What was the last one, though? Claire is the one I'm sitting here thinking about. Claire, you said you didn't like.
No.
That was the one that was free to play
Yeah.
on PS Plus.
It didn't suck me in.
It was like an 8-bit.
Yeah, and I don't mind those games, but it was just this. I don't know what it is. There was another game very much like it that I played, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it Uncanny Valley?
Might have been, and it was just. It's not the pixel graphics. It's just this dark, drab garbage they kind of put you in, and you're just walking around, and it's like, what am I doing?
Right.
You know, at least with Stay, you're giving something to do.
Right.
You know, it's not the graphics. It's just the game itself. You're just making me walk around in these rooms doing what?
Well, see, that's the thing that they miss. Like, you know, like a game today, it has all this fluff and stuff like that. You can allow yourself to... The environment sucks you in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in an 8-bit game, that does not happen.
No,
okay, so
gotta...
like Mario and everything, from the beginning, you were doing what you're supposed to do the entire game. You were hooked from the get-go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do that in those 8-bit games. You can't... There's no window. You're hooked at the beginning of those games.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, I can't play them either. You have to give me
just,
something.
I don't know. They bored the hell out of me. Friday the 13th, the game is finally putting a patch in the game to fix the car rubber band issue. Which, since you've never played it, let me explain. When you drive the car, it likes to do like this as you're driving it. It just jerks back and forth like a rubber band. And you're just going, why is the car being stupid? Just drive. And it's annoying. So, yay, they're going to fix that. Someone added a mod of Thanos in GTA 5. Did you see that?
I seen something about that, yeah.
It actually looked pretty cool, you know, because he was sitting there using each one of the Infinity Gem powers, you know, blowing stuff up, making portals. I don't know. It was really, really interesting.
They just made their announcement.
All right, what is it?
It's called Ghost Giant, a vibrant new PS4 VR adventure, a PSVR adventure from the minds behind Fee. Fee or Faye, however is it Fee?
That's what I call it, Fee.
Yeah.
Fee.
So
okay, so there you go, Ghost Giant. You'll know about it before you hear the show. Platinum Games is considering self-publishing, which I think they need to do.
Yeah.
They're decent. They have a lot of good. I guess beat 'em ups. I guess would be the best way.
Well, they just have a lot of good franchises, really.
Yeah. And I really feel like that they're being held back a little bit by not just putting out their games wherever they want.
Yeah, and I'm kind of, at the same time, I hate that if something happens, like, say they make one bad game with self-publishing, that's, you know, you kind of get scared. Is that going to hurt them in the future? Is it going to make them scared to put out a game that they want to put out?
Which they shouldn't be worried because they got a good track record.
No, and you know, I've heard they're gonna, the domain for Devil May Cry 5 was just, you know, no wait, no, was something that is them, isn't it? That's Platinum.
Was it?
Was it?
I don't recall.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it fits their fighting style.
Yeah.
And their game. So it might be. I don't know.
Oh, I'm looking it up. I can't remember for some reason.
Go look it up. The main character of Overkill's The Walking Dead has yet to be revealed, according to the devs.
Dang.
Yeah. So all of these characters we're seeing, and we don't know who the main character is yet.
I really want this game.
Overkill? Or The Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Hitman 2 was announced this week. Its release date is November 13th. And Destiny 2 Forsaken was also announced. And finally, GameCube controllers are coming to the Nintendo Switch. How about that?
Yay.
Yay.
Finally.
Which is, you know, it would work for, I think they're doing it for Smash Brothers. I would almost guarantee it because I noticed that a lot of people, and I even did it too on the Wii with Super Smash Brothers Brawl, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Is I did favor the GameCube controller. I would plug it in and play with that. Just, I don't know. It was so much better. I like the controls here.
Okay, I'm totally wrong about that. Like Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom's the developer.
But Ninja Theory
Ah.
did the first one.
Well, there's a lot of similarity.
Did Platinum redo? Did they do the reboot?
I know.
I feel like I know they did Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I thought they did. I don't know, man. I might be retarded.
It's okay.
I'm having a hard day today.
It's all right. All right, time for some truth or trash.
Truth or trash. And there could be a lot of truth and a lot of trash this week.
Well, I've only got 4 items. So take your pick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Xbox One is integrating
Trash.
Amazon's Alexa and Google Assistant in the system. They're going to be integrating it into their consoles.
What happened to Cortana?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, you think they'd use their own system?
Yeah.
But no, they truth or trash.
I don't. Man, I'm going to say trash.
Okay. Because it does.
Well, I don't know. With them, it could be truth. You know, they like to just say, let's just bring everybody on board. You know, they're doing everything they can to try to say, use everything you got here.
True.
But I don't think you even need. I don't know. Like, okay, like for example, listen to this. Like, Alexa works with my PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said something, I was like, Alexa, something about Detroit Become Human. I can ask her questions about Detroit Become Human, and she can give me things as I'm going through this game.
Nice.
It's some kind of game, like activate so-and-so game. I can't remember what it is. She tells me little things I need to know about it. So why do you have to? You don't have to integrate that into your thing. To me, I don't feel like.
Yeah, but they're always trying to one-up everybody.
Well, I don't think that. I think they pick the wrong stuff to want. We just want to play games.
Yeah.
Like they need games. That's and I don't know. Shit.
So we'll see. I'd say if it's true that we'll see some form of announcement at E3.
Yeah.
I'd almost bet on it.
And I think you're going to hear the fake woo.
Yeah. Woo.
And everybody else will be like, why?
Yeah.
What the why?
That's great.
Why?
3 new Gears of War games will be announced at E3.
3.
3.
So they're going to have like a Gears of War collection.
So,
I say Gears of War Battle Royale. I think it'll be a mode.
Okay. Well, but
Trash.
3. Okay.
Maybe one game and it's going to have Battle Royale in it.
Gotcha. Square Enix's Avengers project is an Ultimate Alliance reboot.
Trash.
Okay.
Oh, please don't be that.
Didn't like that?
No, just do something brand new.
Okay.
Don't reboot that.
Maybe the idea. I don't know.
No.
I'm throwing it out there.
I'm throwing it back.
Okay. Trash.
Trash.
Hey, that's why this is truth or trash. Your opinion. Super Smash Brothers will feature the return of Solid Snake and add a Minecraft fighter.
I could see Snake coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I say they'll probably add a Minecraft. I mean, Steve, I guess he's a good fighter. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Truth.
Okay.
I say you'll see the Raven Rabbids in there too somewhere.
Perhaps that's true.
Yeah.
Since they have done that. And Rayman, maybe?
I think they'll skip Rayman and put the Rabbids.
Just the Rabbids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to some weird news.
Weird news.
All
My favorite.
right.
Is this
Now-
about sex this time?
Probably. I think there's a little in there somewhere.
Good. It's always better with sex.
This first one, it's kind of a twofer. First of all, I want to do a quick update. I wish I'd have said something about it last week. Again, I don't know where my mind was. I wasn't feeling good. I think I said
You were under the weather.
Yeah. Anyway, do you remember that game, Active Shooter, that I mentioned
Yes.
about 2 weeks ago?
I've actually seen it on CNN.
Yeah, it's been pulled
Good.
from Steam. And it was actually revealed from Valve that the developer of the game is a person calling himself Ada Berdyev, and he actually has a history of customer abuse, publishing copyrighted material, and user review manipulation. He's actually been operating under a new business name and was discovered after Valve did a little investigating around this controversy. So this guy's been around. He knew what he was doing. He was being a dick. So
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Who in the world in their right mind thinks that's a good idea?
Well, it's going to get better. Trust me. To piggyback off of this, Valve has said in a statement that they will no longer police the games that are coming through their store just as long as it's not illegal or trolling. It's fine.
Right.
Okay? Case in point. And this is just one of those that I'm just like, God, guys, you're just not learning. There's a new game coming up called AIDS Simulator. Okay? Do you want to know?
You bang till you get AIDS?
No. Here's the synopsis of the game. You play as a tourist that travels to Africa. Then you contract the HIV virus from the locals. Now you must take revenge and kill everyone before you die so they won't keep spreading AIDS to other parts of the world. That is your game.
How is that any better?
I don't know, but they're allowing it.
How is that any better?
Okay. Even worse is that, or at least I guess to me even worse, other than the fact that Valve is not even going to stop this game from coming out, is that the game developer seems to know that this is a garbage game.
Yeah.
Because they describe it as a very short first-person shooter with boring gameplay, bad graphics, and generic assets that they offer up as a zero-effort cash-grabbing asset flip for your garbage bin. Those are their words.
Their words.
So
I got to play that game.
I mean, I don't even know how I feel about this developer right now.
Who is it? Who's the developer?
I didn't catch their name. But the fact that they're doing this and knowingly, they know what they're doing. They're trying to stir the pot. They could have easily piggybacked this off of the active shooter thing, saying, you know what, I'm gonna top this, and I'm gonna stir everybody up.
Yeah.
But why? Why?
Just like you said, cash grab.
I don't know. It's frustrating to me, but if it makes money, I'm done with this whole mess. It's just I can't even anymore.
Yeah, this started with that dating sim where you go in and try to hook up with women.
Oh yeah. I can't even remember. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Jesus. Lighter news.
Yay.
Japan is one of the most interesting countries in the world, as they always seem to get some of the craziest things. Example, and I love this, some of their crosswalk lights actually have Godzilla icons for the walker. So I just feel like it's the greatest thing ever. Of course, he is like an icon over there, so it's understandable.
You seen Shin Godzilla, right?
Yes.
I seen that yesterday. I was looking for a movie. I ended up buying Far Cry 5. It was on sale for $39.99.
That's fine. Now, Shin Godzilla, it's I don't feel like it's for everybody. It's it's a slow burner, but when the action hits, it's pretty intense.
Well, I mean, you've watched every one of them from beginning to end, so it's definitely for you.
I went to theaters and saw it.
I remember that.
And I almost wanted to kick 3 kids that were in the theater with me because they just thought everything was funny. I'm like, why the hell are you here? You know, if you're not going to sit here and enjoy the movie like everybody else, get the hell out.
Right.
They're just...
People are like that.
Anyway, video game arcades are still popular in Japan, and now there will be Pokemon vending machines.
Freak.
Okay?
They're coming here.
These will sell plushies and other types of merchandise like stickers and I think even movies and just Pokemon stuff.
Who made Pokemon?
Game Freak. I think
so Nintendo didn't make it.
Like they're the developer, the main developer, but it's technically owned by Nintendo. Like
so Nintendo came up with the idea of Pokemon.
Well, I think Game Freak is the one who did, and then Nintendo's kind of co-owner of Pokemon.
So anything sold Pokemon,
they get a cut.
That's why they'll never go out of business. They are brilliant with that end.
Oh yeah. Now, quite a few of these machines have popped up across Japan, and 4 have even shown up in Seattle, Washington.
I knew it.
Funny that you mentioned Seattle. So, who knows how far this craze will go? We might see them all over before you know it.
Well, you will, definitely. They'll be in every movie theater, and Peyton will want to, let me have $1, get a Pokemon. You know all those balls? She gets 5 of them every time she goes in there. I don't know how she gets them. She's like, I tricked it, Daddy.
Just tricked it.
She said she tricked it. Like she'll do it. I don't know how she does it, man. She keeps on getting it and it'll drop it, right?
Yeah.
She's like, put in 50 more. I'm gonna get it this time, and then she does. She gets it. She got 2 one time. I don't know how she does it.
She got it figured out. All right. Now for the sexy portion that you were asking for.
Yes. Is it hot?
Well, see if you think so, because there's a reason this is in weird news. The Nintendo Switch has actually been a hot spot for indie games lately, but it seems that this has allowed an interesting title to slip in.
Yes.
a game called Pure Electric, not erotic.
Damn it.
Pure
I liked it better.
Electric Love dropped recently, and the premise revolves around conversing with a fetish cosplayer. Now, in reading the description, I'm assuming some of the things were lost in translation because this does not make any sense to me.
I love it, those descriptions like that.
So I'm going to read exactly how it's...
Please do.
Okay.
Read it in a Japanese voice.
How?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll read it. In this work, fetish cosplayer Uri Katami is a welcome Otiyuki blog. Please tell her with hyper deadly tension. Reply to questions from her. Please please her, sometimes a little annoying. Kakahiki is important for love affair. Mail arrives according to the contents of the conversation. You also have movies attached. Let's aim at perfection.
Please please her.
Yes. Please,
Sometime
please
annoying. Awesome.
That was it.
That's awesome.
Do you understand what this game is?
I have no
idea.
I guess what I'm telling you, just answer her questions, talk to her, because she's annoying if you don't please her, pretty much.
Okay.
Sounds
Well,
like...
As of right now, the game is only available in Japan, and I have no doubt this is meant for a small group of people. If it's your bag, I'm sure get it now before Nintendo pulls the plug. However, if it's only in Japan, it might actually be passable by their standards. If it was in Nintendo of America, I guarantee it would not be over here. There's probably a reason it's not over here already.
Yeah.
Because there sticks in the mud. Okay. I don't have any items to buy this week.
It's okay.
I did look, but there was nothing. So with that said, let's get on to our main topic.
Yes.
Which is, what is Sony bringing to E3? What do we think?
They're going to bring exactly what they said, which is they're going to open the show. This is my prediction. This is how I'm seeing it.
Okay.
Because, we're going to the E3 experience. Mm-hmm. By the time you hear this show on Monday, everything would have transpired with Microsoft and everything like that. Yeah. And we are waiting for Sony. Mm-hmm. And 8 o'clock tonight for Monday after you're hearing this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go to this thing. And then they're going to open the show. Because there's not going to be any little 1 hour pre-show now. These five last days before E3 that they've been announcing one game a day, that is taking place of the pre-show. This is what I've heard. Okay. So with saying that, the show time on the ticket says 8 to 10. Now, I don't know whether it's the full 2 hours, because I know they like to run like a post-show sometimes and talk about stuff, and you get a code and all this kind of stuff. But I really think they're going to open the show with Spider-Man. Okay. Because that's the next one to come out. Sure. September. You're going to see a really cool, demo of, I hope it being the open worldness of this game. Mm-hmm. That's what I hope. I think because they've showed like a linear slice, like a vertical slice of like chasing what Mr. Negative or whatever it is. And people kind of got bent out of shape. It's just QTEs and that's it, And I'm like, who cares? It's a freaking awesome looking Spider-Man game, So I think they're gonna go on a limb and say, here's what you can do. Let's know just a little bit of what you can do, just like open world and see maybe get into a crime or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna see, because they're gonna show Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and The Last of Us 2. Sure. So the next one I think would be Ghost of Tsushima. They're going to show that next. Mm-hmm. And that's going because we haven't seen anything but a theatrical trailer on that.
That's true, yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's going to be a cool part too. Anything they show on that's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Sucker Punch. But then after that, I think they're going to get into The Last of Us, and we're going to see a big clip of that because they've said that's going to be the centerpiece.
I feel like that would be their ending.
I think Death Stranding is going to be the ending.
You really think so?
Yeah, I think so because we're going to see gameplay of that too.
I don't know. I'm going to have to disagree.
They said it's their centerpiece.
Yeah.
Sony's own record saying that.
The big closer, I mean, do Death Stranding, but everyone's anticipating The Last of Us 2, so why not end the show with a bang?
I don't know. I just feel like if they say it's the centerpiece, it's going to be like a big slice in the middle, just set up just for that.
fair enough.
So that's just my thought. I could be wrong. It could
But
be.
again, there could be another
Yeah.
big hitter that they're not.
Oh, I know. I think these are just, they've said they're going to show, these 4 games are going to be showed gameplay on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And in between all these, I believe they're going to drop little bombs. And there's going to be some big bombs drops too, I think. I think there's going to be at least 2 big bombs dropped.
Yeah.
One of them could possibly be Rocksteady brings Superman on stage.
That would be cool.
But I don't know if it's going to be there or it could be at the Microsoft. Because,
That's true, yeah.
you know, you got Spider-Man at the beginning or wherever it is.
That would kind of be a conflict. Of
Yeah.
interest.
do you want to load it down with superheroes? Or what if they do that? What if they say the beginning is superhero heavy? Let's say Spider-Man gameplay. Rocksteady come out here. They've got a trailer, so you're thinking, oh, Batman Beyond's what everybody is guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see these leaks of Superman.
Yeah.
And boom, here's Superman. Then you're done with all the superhero stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then go into Ghost of Tsushima and then The Last of Us. And then I think you're going to see a little bit of Death Stranding. I don't think you're going to see anything like you did with The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they need to at least lay out some new features, something that we don't know about the
Yeah.
game yet to kind of really get us enticed.
yeah, you talking about Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're going to see actual gameplay. And what I've read about it is that, I don't know, man, like to me, in my mind, Minute popped in my head. Like that little game, the things that you did while you were alive changed the things that were going on. So when you die, you start over and things have changed because of what you did.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm really interested in this game because I've heard that it's going to have that action adventure, not action adventure, but like, I don't know, in the vein of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited. I trust Kojima of whatever he does. He hasn't really, to me, made a bad game.
No.
It's one of the enders that doesn't get much praise. I mean, it gets like, you don't talk about it much,
Yeah.
but man, it was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever play it?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was a good game. But I don't know. I don't know what's in between, but there's going to be something.
Yeah.
It's got to be something.
Yeah.
There's been talks of possibly like Medieval. You know, I think maybe they show that.
I think we'll see a few VR titles that maybe
Yeah.
they haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be pushing that. They
Yeah,
need
you
to
do,
start
but
pushing
it's
it.
hard. It's really hard to demo that on stage.
Mhm.
So
But
that's
at least
why I
an
think.
announcement, of something.
But they've been announcing them all week,
That's true.
so there might not be much. Maybe a sizzle reel.
Yeah.
There could be that.
That's true.
So I say they love their sizzle reels, so you'll see a few of those. I'm hoping though, if not Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima opens the show up and they have something as epic as it was for God of War. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When
Because
Kratos stepped out of the
no one
shadows.
knew. I mean, we were kind of looking at it like, what is this? And then you
I
just
s-
saw him and it was like, oh.
I knew right then because I watched that show Vikings and the sound sounded like music from that show.
Mm-hmm.
And then still wasn't 100% sure, but as soon as he stepped out, like, dude, you could hear everybody go, it was just awesome. I want that again. I want something like that. There's been talks of like Crash Team Racing. I don't think that's going to do it, but
No, hell no.
but that was a good racing game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard possibly a reboot of that, or not a reboot, but like a remaster of that, kind of like in the vein of the Insane trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I like that game.
But we need, I know what you mean. We need that breath taker that
Yeah.
no one sees coming because you get
Right.
so many leaks.
They've
come out where
been
everybody's
so
like-
quiet, man.
Yeah.
Like not quiet. Everything's been coming out, but what they want to come out.
Yeah,
But there's nothing that they don't want to come out has not come out yet.
exactly.
So it's like this is possibly the first time that they're going into this, and you go, I have no clue other than what they've said.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to see.
One thing that I feel like we might see, and this is just, I would say it's more hope and speculation than anything, but something tells me that we'll get to see Final Fantasy VII.
It could.
Again, this is a hope that
Yeah.
we'll get something because there's been a lot of rumors floating around and everything, and I feel like this would be a time for Square to say, okay, we hear that everybody's getting worried and concerned. Let's put it to bed. Do something to kind of assuage everybody's fears.
Yeah, but they're having their own conference on Sunday.
That's true, but they do recall that they announced 7 at the Sony show.
That was before their own conference, though.
So we'll see.
I say you'll see like something. It's either going to be that or Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be shown at Sony stage.
Yeah, I do believe that as well. Even though, I was even thinking about this last week when we were talking about the Microsoft thing. Something in my head made me feel like I recall seeing like a list, and again, these could be fake, because you've seen all these fake lists of, everybody's lineup. But I almost swear that I saw Kingdom Hearts 3 on Microsoft stage, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, you showed it the whole time. But at the same time, you say that Microsoft is in a position where, I know we say it every year, it's do or die for Microsoft, but they seem to just kind of claw their way along, keep on trudging. Like right now, it's more of a Xbox is more of a fan service right now. Like, okay, we're playing mainly to our fans. And then the next time we'll try to wow everybody, whatever. But they could just hand the money over, and Square's going to take it. They are.
That's true.
I think we'll see. Well, what's that? Shadow? What's the new Tomb Raider?
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, that was another one I was sitting there thinking that we'll probably see. I
think we'll see it on Microsoft stage.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they did have that exclusivity deal there for a while.
Yeah, they're going to want to bring anything in, even though if you can play it on PlayStation at the same time, you're going to see anything and everything that they can put on their stage. They're going to look at us, Xbox.
And do you think we'll see? I don't know if we'll see this on the Sony stage, but maybe either of the 2 Walking Dead games that are coming out, either Overkills or Telltales.
I think you could see Telltales on Microsoft stage because, like I said, they're going to want to try to appeal to every single person.
Yeah, and I even thought that we probably, again, I'm not sure which stage. I would assume maybe Sony's if there was a stage to go on. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, but Ubisoft does have their own conference.
That's true. So, any other thoughts about Sony's show?
It's hard to say, man, because
I'm looking forward to it, though. I'll say that.
I feel like this is the one year where they're kind of in cruise control. They're on top. I don't think they're resting on their laurels or nothing like that, but you could just... They're going to go into E3 right now as the favorite to win to me.
Yeah.
Because they're going to show all this gameplay, and these games are coming out. It's not like gameplay of Crackdown that you hope comes out in February when they say, you know what I mean? But I don't even know if you're going to see, Crackdown on Microsoft stage. But
that's true.
I know one thing. I know I like Sony. I'm partial to them. I want Microsoft to do good because that makes everybody do better because, competition helps. I don't want somebody to run away with it. Like PlayStation 2 era, Sony came out with PlayStation 3, and it was like, hey, we're the big dog. Here, $600. Pay for it, $600, for a new system. I know there's a recession right now. You put it out at the wrong time. And then that hurt them. And then they had to go back to the drawing board. I mean, they restructured everything. So.
Still a good console, but it was just bad timing.
And bad timing.
All right, well, we'll see how everything looks. Next week, I'm sure we'll be talking nothing but E3 announcements.
So
and everything.
Excited!
In fact, that might actually just be our show. I mean,
I think we should have the the post E3 cleanup show.
We'll just talk nothing but E3.
Yeah,
and maybe we can get a guest on to help talk us through it.
I'm working on that.
So release dates we got on June 12th. Jurassic World Evolution for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Super Bomberman R, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Omega Strike for PS4. Tennis World Tour for Nintendo Switch. Hexalogic for Nintendo Switch. And Muv-Luv and Muv-Luv Alternative for the PS Vita. Then on June 14th, we have Soccer Slammers for Nintendo Switch. June 15th, Lego The Incredibles for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And Omega Strike for Xbox One. Then on June 17th, Flashback, the 25th anniversary for Nintendo Switch, which I would love to play, to be honest with you. It's been a long time since I played that. Then June 18th, we have DLC for Rocket League, which is Jurassic World Car Pack for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
It's awesome how they've supported that game.
Mm-hmm. So it's all right. All right, we've got a review this week.
What you got?
Well, I was trying to think on the indie circuit, trying to think of something that I haven't talked about, and it took me a minute because I still have a few retros that I want to get to.
Yeah.
But I figured, no, I'll pivot and go to an indie game. So I did a little digging, and I even thought, this would be fun. Anybody out there, we've actually set up, and I'm going to talk about it a little later. If you've got an indie game that you want us to talk about, give us a suggestion, and we'll gladly look into it and play it, and we'll shine a light on it.
We'll do the testing for you and
That's
let you
right.
know.
So if you think it's worth, talking about, let us know, and we'll do our best to get the world to hear about it as well. But anyway, I looked through my Steam library, and it's filled with plenty of random indie games that I've either played or just not gotten around to yet.
Right.
So I landed on one that I had spent some time on. It's called Party Hard. Even though I thought of a few others after the fact, I was like, nah, I'll do this one. It's fine. So Party Hard was a game that I stumbled upon by chance. I believe I was watching a streamer who was doing a game giveaway. And I thought, what the hell? I entered, and before I knew it, I won the game, downloaded it.
Nice.
And wasn't really sure what it was. I'd never heard of it before. So I dug around a little bit, and before I knew it, I actually spent several hours playing it because it's oddly addictive.
Yeah.
Now, the game was developed by Pinnacle Games, I hope I'm saying that right, and published by Tiny Build. And I think they've published quite a few indie titles. It's best described as an action stealth game. You assume the role of a serial killer whose main goal is to slaughter every guest at a party without being caught. Now, this can be very trying at first, considering there is a large amount of people surrounding the party at any given moment, and they can witness your crimes, call the police. Even if you're looking suspicious, they'll freak out and be like, I gotta call somebody. So you gotta be very careful. This is where the stealth comes into play, because you need to pick off guests here and there, hide their bodies, and try to remain as invisible as possible.
Right.
You can also set traps to take down more people. You can poison the punch bowl. You can set a bomb in the oven, like gas leaks and whatnot. So you can pick other people off, but to get the larger amount, it's based more on how best to utilize it. So if there's a large group around the punch bowl, you want to go poison the punch bowl. But again, you can't let anyone see you do that, because they'll be like, oh, I gotta call somebody because somebody's doing something sneaky.
Right.
So it's very clever in that way. This also, you can have the heat, taken off of you if you happen to be spotted. If you can find maybe like a costume or something like that, if you can hide long enough where no one spots you. So you got to be very careful on how you do that, because they're not always available.
Right.
Items are not always set there for you to find a costume or whatnot. So very, very careful on how you do that. Now, looking at the numerous options you have to take, people down at a party, you have a little variance, which adds a bit of replay to your levels. If you didn't quite do it within a time frame that you wanted to do, you can kind of go back and replay it and see if you can do it better. Each level has various weapons and tools, like I mentioned, which will help assist you in your mission. It could be anything from a bomb to a knife, swords, whatnot,
Right.
Now, these items change every time you play a level, so never expect the same items every time you play, or even in the same spot. So that kind of also changes it up a little bit. Now, should you get spotted committing a crime, you'll either get hassled by a bouncer who will essentially choke you out, and then that ends that's game over. Or cops will be called. Now, bouncers, I feel like, are much easier to avoid, since they'll kind of chase you for a bit and then just kind of leave you be. Cops, on the other hand, are relentless, because they will chase you down and they're fast. However, it's not always a game over when they're called, because if you can slide through certain shortcuts, certain areas, if you just play your cards right, you can avoid them easily.
Right.
It's not always simple, but it can be done. However, if you continue to use little shortcuts, the police will kind of get wise to it and they will board them up, preventing you from doing it a second time, should you avoid them. So that kind of adds a little bit more difficulty to your gameplay if you're messing around. Now, if you feel pretty lucky, you can actually attempt to murder a cop. But if you do, that will in turn lead to the arrival of special agents who will then come after you.
Yeah,
So,
and you ain't getting away from the special agent.
right. Now, the game shifts through each party with a whodunit narrative, beginning with our killer being awakened by a loud party, so he decides to shut it down. From there, a detective by the name of John West begins telling his story of his pursuit of the party-hard killer. His journey sees the killer go from coast to coast and back again, committing murders along the way while avoiding the authorities. The story unfolds in between stops and even shows personal ties as to why the detective is so hell-bent on solving this case. However, I feel the twist at the end is something you'll probably see coming a mile away, since the narrative doesn't really give you much else to play off of. So it's like, well, it's got to be this or that, and you know.
Yeah.
Now, despite taking place in the year 2000, the game has a very 80s vibe to it, you know?
Right.
Like the artwork and the pixel graphics, even the techno tracks. It kind of had a Hotline Miami vibe to it, which is probably what made me get drawn into it.
Yeah.
So that was one of the defining factors. Might actually play off to other people or turn you away if you're not a fan of that stuff. Now, while the premise might sound simple, the ability to change and unlock new killers with unique skills and abilities adds a little bit of replayability to each party, so you can kind of change it up and see if you can do better with a different killer, or maybe even create a challenge with a different killer.
Right.
And I can't really say that it blew my mind when I first played it, but it was, and it still is, a fun little game you can drop into here and there, and maybe even spend hours honing your craft of murdering partygoers.
That's the fun thing.
Mm-hmm. So I'd recommend trying it out if you can get it on the cheap.
So it's a pick, not a skip.
Yeah, it'd be a pick.
Good. It needs to come to PlayStation.
I think it might be.
Is it?
It might be. Check it out.
I have to check it out.
I do believe it's on all major
Party hard.
platforms, even on mobile.
Party hard, right?
Party hard.
Party hard.
Yeah, look it up right
Pick it. Pick it. Let me look.
Look it up. It should be, anyway. So check it out on your favorite console platform or even mobile device.
Oh, it's on my mobile, huh?
As far as I recall hearing, it should be.
Wow.
Well, that is our show.
That's it.
I'd like to thank you for all of our listeners for being here every week. Your love and support is greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to our patrons who make this show and other shows we do possible. If you're interested in supporting the show, head over to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions. Also, if you have a game in mind that you'd like to shine a light on, or like us to shine a light on, or maybe if you want to send us some hate mail,
Or just a topic.
yeah, drop us a line at supermegacrash@gmail.com. You can follow the show on Twitter at SuperMegaCrash. That is it.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's on PlayStation 4, guys.
There you
Go
go.
get it.
Like and leave reviews on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Maybe even give us a heart, a little love.
Just a little.
Just a little. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I am Stephen White.
I'm Todd Stark, and it's Christmas time in June.
Yes, sirree. Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.
Merry Half Christmas!
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.